well, we're going to protect Israel, but I have nothing to do, absolutely nothing. And we're going to protect Saudi Arabia. Look, Saudi Arabia is buying $400 billion worth of things for us. That's a very good thing.
You used to say we don't get anything in return for protecting Saudi Arabia.
You know that
you feel like they're now paying for the American protection?
I spoke to the Crown Prince this morning, and we had a great conversation. Yeah. I said, this is a very expensive operation. You and the other nations that we're protecting have to pay. And he said yes.
Did you talk to him about the UN report about Jamal Khashoggi?
I did not, because it really didn't come up in that discussion. I called about one reason.
I understand.
I called about one reason. I didn't call about that. I called about one reason. There's a very expensive operation. Unlike President Obama and unlike everybody else, I'll say others to it, not just President Obama, you got to pay for it. We cannot... we just don't want to go and protect the Middle East and protect Saudi Arabia and everyone else and not get reimbursed.
So this is why you're overruling Congress and letting all these weapon sales happen in Saudi Arabia?
Economic development. End that, but economic development.
Never mind the humanitarian disaster that's taken place in Yemen?
A million jobs. No, it's going to end. It's going to end. By the way, who's causing it, though? If you look at it, Iran goes into Yemen. They start firing rockets at Saudi Arabia. Saudi Arabia has to protect themselves, Chuck. But it's a million jobs and probably more. They buy massive amounts, $150 billion worth of military equipment that, by the way, we use their military equipment. And unlike other countries that don't have money, and we have to subsidize everything, so Saudi Arabia is a big buyer of American product. That means something to me. It's a big producer of jobs.
It makes you overlook some of their bad behavior?
No, I don't like anybody's bad behavior.
The United Nations said they'd like the United States to order the FBI to investigate Jamal Khashoggi's death and possibly MBS's involvement in it. Will you allow the FBI to do that?
I think it's been heavily investigated.
By who?
By everybody. I mean, I've seen so many different reports.
What about the FBI?
Here's where I am. You ready? Mm-hmm. Iran's killed many, many people a day. Other countries in the Middle East, this is a hostile place. This is a vicious, hostile place. If you're going to look at Saudi Arabia, look at Iran, look at other countries, I won't mention names, and take a look at what's happening. And then you go outside of the Middle East and you take a look at what's happening with countries, okay? And I only say they spend 400 to 450 billion over a period of time. All money, all jobs, buying equipment.
That's the price. As long as they keep buying, they'll overlook some of this behavior.
But I'm not like a fool that says we don't want to do business with them. And by the way, if they don't do business with us, you know what they do? They'll do business with the Russians or with the Chinese. They will buy. We make the best equipment in the world, but they will buy great equipment from Russia and from China. Chuck?
Yeah.
Take their money. Take their money, Chuck.
What would candidate Trump have said about a president who on his watch had Iran shooting down a drone, a Venezuelan dictator thumbing his nose at you, Obamacare still on the books, and no results yet on the border getting
well, let's take a look.
I just said, what would candidate Trump have said about that?
Let's take a look. The border's doing great. Mexico's been fantastic. They've been trying to get a deal with Mexico for 45 years, right? So for 45 years, they couldn't get a deal. I got one in one day. I said, we're going to put tariffs on, and we're going to either have a deal or not. We agreed in one day. Mexico just moved 6,000 people to their southern border, 6,000 troops to their southern border. The border's